Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got people waiting. There are folks in line waiting for me to start the live chat. So I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So I'm going live 4 minutes early. So you get 4 extra minutes with Diego. Now I'm Diego. I live in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach. And Karina, my prometida, is from Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela. Beautiful, beautiful Venezuela, but she is a legal resident of Bogota, Colombia. And she's at work right now. She's working. What day is it today? Monday? She's working. She's keeping busy. Now, I am, like you guys, waiting for adjudication of our K1 visa. Our NOA 1 letter is dated April 18th, 2022. Our NOA 2 letter is dated May 30th, 2023. 407 days. Boom, went by just like that. Pretty quick. Poof, gone. And now we're waiting for our welcome letter from the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. Kaiser H. Hello, Diego. Do you have any update on when will the USCIS have the new edition of the Form I-134? Now, the Form I-134 is the Declaration of Financial Support. Don't confuse that form with the Affidavit of Support. Don't confuse that form. The Declaration of Financial Support is the I-134 used at the embassy interview where you, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, promise to take care of your beneficiary when she gets to the USA. Then you got to do adjustment of status. Then you got to file the affidavit of support, I-864. Currently, the edition for the I-134 is July 31, 2023. Keep using it. You can keep using that form until I say don't use it. Okay? Keep using the I-134. July 31 is the edition date. It's good. Keep using it. Reda Afrug, hello. Hey, Reda, how are you? Jacob Myers, good evening. Diego, Jacob, buenas noches. How are you? Frank Nagasco, hey, Diego. Well, hey, Frank. How was Frank? Joe Atala, good evening. Diego and Karina, good evening, Diego. Francois Livingstone, good evening, Diego and Karina. Well, hello, everybody. Isaac Medrano. Diego, how are you? I am good. Julia and I, well, she's from Brazil. Beautiful Brazil. Still waiting any day for our welcome letter. August 4th, 2022. Now, Isaac, you remember, okay? The embassy in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, you're going to have to sign your beneficiary is going to have to sign a letter of singleness in front of the immigration officer. Okay, Isaac? And she also has to have 8 months more plus of time left on her Brazilian passport. Remember, my finger's on the pulse on every embassy around the world for you guys. So if you're going through the immigration process in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, check the passport, make sure her passport has got 8 months plus be ready to fill out and sign a letter of singleness in front of the immigration officer. Hamid, and also in Brazil, I got family in Brazil. Karina's brother and his wife and children, they got the heck out of communist Venezuela and relocated to the free country of Brazil. So they live in Brazil. So they had to learn. They learned English, they learned Spanish, and now they got to learn Portuguese. Francois, good evening. Isaac, Hamid. Hi, Diego. Is it worth contacting our senator to get our interview scheduled? It's been 2.5 months. My case is ready, but no interview scheduled. Hamid, what embassy? Which embassy? Tell me which embassy. Tina, good evening, Diego. Hi, Tina. Jacob, few days away from day 90. Yeah, Jacob, you're right there close, man. You're almost there. Azar, good evening, Diego. Hey, Azar, how are you? Azar mi doket. Hang Horn. Hi, Diego. My case status shows ready. Okay. Is the next step to pay for the visa fee? Yes. Then it wants show pay. Then I can help my fiance fill out her DS 160. That's correct. Once you get ready status, you have a case number and an invoice number. The embassy's waiting on you. They want you to start, the U.S. government is waiting to stick their hand in your bank and take that money out so that you can get your visa processed and schedule her medical exam and help her with the DS-160 and get all the paperwork together, okay? Ken Thompson, hello, Diego. My case was approved today. NOA 1 dated August 1st. NOA 2 dated today. Very good, Ken. Dang, so now, Ken, you have to wait 90 days, 100 days for the next step, the MVC welcome letter. Be patient, okay? Don't be blowing up the MVC with inquiries after 30 days. It's a waste of time. Just wait, 90 days, 85, 90 days, and then if you haven't heard, send an inquiry. But good job on Ken Thompson on your NOA 2. Francois Livingston, now that USCIS has accepted my new petition, yes, it's an all-new 12 to 14-month wait, or do they pick up where the previous petition left off? No, Francois, you are starting at ground zero. You have to wait, in my expertise opinion, 11 months until your NOA 2. You'll get your NOA 2 in about 11 months. And then by then, you'll get your MVC welcome letter within 2 to 3 weeks, and the embassy will get processed within 2 to 3 weeks. So you're about a 12-month window right now, okay? Starting October 2023, October 1st. That is when the new fiscal year starts for the National Visa Center, for USCIS, basically the U.S. government. And with that said, things are going to speed up for you, Francois. So Francois, you're going to start a brand new petition. You're starting from beginning A, and you're going to go to end Z. Okay? And don't mess up this time. Hamid, it's Casablanca, Morocco. They don't let us schedule interview. Okay, so Casablanca is probably backed up with work. Hamid, I mean, you can contact your senator, sure. Have your senator step in and ask and find out what's going on. I did. I spoke to Rubio, Senator Rubio. Hey, but this was a different situation. The MVC was telling me stories which I knew weren't true, and I fixed it. IS, good evening, Diego. Hi, IS. How are you? And Karina, we are fantastic. My beneficiary has an open court case because his ex is requesting an appeal for more money for the child. Okay. Here's from India. We are waiting on NOA 2. Well, that's not going to affect your visa. Okay. They want more money. Okay. Was it the ex-wife? She wants more money. Imagine that, right? But it's for the kid, so it's not going to affect your case. I asked what happens when there is an ongoing case in court during the K-1 visa. If it's civil, like this one is civil, okay, nothing's going to happen. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not giving you immigration advice. I'm giving you zero legal advice, but I know this for a fact, okay? And I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the State Department, blah, blah, blah. But it's a civil case. It's not a criminal case. If it was a criminal case, that would be different. That's a problem. USCIS don't like criminals. But it's a civil case. It's between the ex-husband and the ex-wife. That's it. Immigration aren't worried about it. All they care about is, does your sponsor make enough money, or do you make enough money to sponsor your beneficiary? This is apple juice, by the way. And Pete B, he's keeping me in Mountain Dew. I got 3 left out of 6. But this is apple juice. Hang on. Thanks, Diego. Appreciate you helping us always. Hang on. Salute to you some apple juice. I will be here for you. Always helping you. But I was thirsty, guys. Okay, now. So IS, it's a civil case. Immigration don't care. If it's criminal, that's the problem. But it's not criminal. Frank, Diego, I never received my invoice number, but I still filled out my DS-160. Okay, and I have an interview date scheduled. Okay, so maybe we don't really need an invoice number, just a case number. Depends on the embassy. Every embassy in the world, every consulate have got their own way of doing stuff. The embassy in Colombia is different from whatever embassy you're working with. Everybody's different. The embassy in Manila, Philippines will not let you have a joint sponsor, okay, at the embassy interview. The embassy in Colombia will. The embassy in Manila, Philippines will not let the sponsor be accompanying the beneficiary to the interview. Bogota in Colombia will. Everybody's different. Antonio, good morning from Cagayan de Oro, Philippines. Okay, now that's in the southern Philippines, right, Antonio? Is that way south? If I remember, I'm here with my fiance. Can't wait to bring her to the United States. Antonio, we can't wait for you to bring her here either. And you will. You'll bring her here soon. Not much longer. Lucia, hello, Diego. It is necessary have received the letter with the instructions from the embassy in Bogota before to schedule the interview. Lucia, okay, now your first language is Spanish, I'm sure, right? So you're having a bit of a trouble with the question in English. So let me figure it out. You can ask me in Spanish if you want. Is it necessary to receive the letter from instructions? Here's what I would do, Lucia. No, it's not necessary. What I would do, Lucia, email the U.S. Embassy in Bogota Visa Department. Say, hey, this is my case number. This is my invoice number. I got an approved K2 visa. Send me directions. Within 2 days, they will respond to you. 2 days, they'll respond to you. Email them. Jeff Mantalk, hello, Diego. I'm hearing that they are processing applications they received in late August 2022. They're processing carryovers from April, May. There's probably a few left from May, July, and August. Mr. Najas, hi, Diego. Hey, Mr. Najas. Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it. No problem. Kingsley Gordon, hey, Diego. Greetings. I got my NOA2 letter. What tax or other information do I need now? Thank you for your help. Okay, get 3 years worth of tax transcripts, get 3 years worth of 1040s, your tax returns, get your W-2s, your 1099s, get pay stubs, get 6 pay stubs, get 12 months worth of bank statements, get your boss to write a letter saying, this is where I work, and this is how much money I make. Get all that and have that in a folder. Separate your financials from your personal. Let's see. Tuan Benson. Hello from Miami. Well, Tuan, I'm hot here in Pensacola. Well, I don't live in Pensacola. I live east, but it's hot. Abdallah Keita. Hi, Diego. Can the beneficiary of K1 visa once in USA do a university studies? Sure. Absolutely. Sign her up. Let me see. Hello for Tuan Benson. Good news. Got my approval email on August 4th. Okay, good. Now waiting on NOA2. Good. Well, great. Good deal. Yes, I have a 17-year-old, but she works part-time, and a 14-year-old. I make about $46,000 a year from a full-time, and I work gigs such as Uber Eats, etc. Okay, good for extra because it's fast money. I made about 10 to 15K. Is that enough income? Plenty. You're good. Perfect. You are, but you got to prove it on your income, on your taxes. Immigration don't care what you say. They don't care how pretty your words are. They want to see in writing on a tax return how much money you made in 2022. And plus, if you got to be able to prove if you're not quite there with 2022 income, if you can prove that you're making way above what's required in 2023, you got to be able to prove it with bank statements, direct deposits, a letter from the boss, pay stubs, etc. You're going to be fine though with what you're making. Antonio, yes, southern part of the Philippines. Yeah, I figured it was in the southern Philippines. Beautiful part of the Philippines. Beautiful. I think the Philippines is made up of like 7,000 islands, 7,000 islands plus. And then, then you got to go to Manila for your immigration stuff. So you got to find a way to get from where you are to Manila. Hopefully there's planes and boats and stuff like that. Tuan Benson, very hot here, my friend. Oh, yeah, Miami's a hot place. Karina and I, we're going to fly from Bogota to Miami, okay? But we got a cat. We got a cat named Tokyo. So I can't, I'm not going to put the cat on another plane car. And then Karina and the cat can look around as we drive up the interstate, go up from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. And then I'll drive from Fort Lauderdale, take the shortcut, and then get up there get to I-75 and then I-10. Let's see. Does my 17-year-old count as a dependent since she is working? IS, did you claim your 17-year-old on your taxes? And yes, your 17-year-old is not an adult. Your 17-year-old is under 18. Yes. Drake Life. Hi, Diego. Do you know the current wait time for an interview in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia? 6 to 8 weeks. Drake. Maskerem Mingstu. How long will it take to receive visa interview appointment after MVC approval? Well, for Colombia, it's going to take probably 6 to 8 weeks. Which country are you in? Which embassy? Mependano K. Awake. Hello. If someone has recently divorced, can he file petition for a fiance visa right away? Sure. How long does he need to wait before filing petition? No rush. Right away. As long as you got a divorce decree in your hand that says final divorce decree, final, finished, final, certified copy, immigration don't care as long as you are legally free and able to marry your beneficiary or your sponsor. They don't care. Take for myself for an example. I had to wait for a year to get a divorce from my first foreign national wife because of COVID shut the courts down. I couldn't get anything done. The courthouse was closed. Okay, so I couldn't get a divorce appointment with the judge. They were all hiding under their desks, sucking on their thumbs because they were scared of COVID. Okay, then I met Karina. So I was dating Karina for a year, still waiting for a divorce from the courthouse here in town. I finally got a divorce after they came out from under their desks and they finally realized they weren't going to suddenly get hit by a meteorite. And I got the divorce and got it signed, got it approved, got it finalized. And then I put it in the K1 visa package. That's all I was waiting on, was the divorce decree. I was waiting and waiting and waiting for the final divorce decree. It took forever. As soon as I got it, boom, it went in the K1 visa package. Boom, I got my visa approved. Let's see. Thank you for that clarification. I was not sure. No problem, Mapendano. No worries. Yeah, just as long as it says final divorce decree, you're good. Can the human resources write the letter of employment instead of the manager? Sure, Tina, as long as it's on business letterhead. It's got to be on company letterhead. Okay. Abdahali Keita, MVC have sent my case to the embassy of Dakar, Senegal. Okay. Since July 18th, but no response, no welcome letter. July 18th. Well, it's still early. Okay. They're probably busy. Send them an email. Do a follow-up. It's imperative that you stay in touch with the embassy. Send an email once a week. Hey, it's me. I'm checking in. How's everybody at the embassy? That's proof of communication. If you don't email the embassy once a week, twice a month, immigration will think you've abandoned the visa. Okay? If 1 year passes and you haven't communicated at all with the embassy or the MVC, if you're on a spousal visa or whatever, your visa gets terminated. And that's congressional law. That's not immigration. That's congressional law. So stay in touch with immigration. Even if they don't reply to you, no big deal, but you got proof you wrote to them. Send them an email, print the email. Here it is. Here's my communication. Once a week, twice a month. Abdelahali, MVC sent my case to the embassy. Right. You just got to hang in there, okay? Just be patient. You're still early. Yes, this is our K1 therapy session for all. We yeah, therapy's good, right? We are still waiting on our NOA2. We are both tense. Don't be tense. Don't. Because we haven't heard anything. No, don't be tense. Our NOA1 is July 21, 2022. Nerve wracking. No, IS. Relax. Kick back. Relax. They're busy. Okay? Remember, look at it this way. You are shopping on a Saturday on payday and everybody's shopping at the same store, right? It's busy. The checkout line's going to be forever. But if you go shopping at 2 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody there, the checkout line's going to be quicker, right? Right now, you are shopping on a Saturday on a payday in the store and everybody got paid and there's a long line. Just be patient. Congressional law says they have to adjudicate your case. They have to look at it. They have to tell you yes, no. They have to. You just got to wait it out. Mependano K Awake, is one visit to your fiance enough to file a petition? In accordance with USCIS and congressional law, one visit is enough. Okay? But you better make sure that one visit is real and you spent a lot of time together. You didn't go and spend a weekend with your beneficiary on one visit. If you've only been together for 2 days, okay, immigration's not going to think that's very strong of a relationship at all. The first time I went to visit Karina, I stayed with her. I went for a 2-week vacation and I stayed for 5 weeks. Okay, I was only gone for 2 weeks, but I stayed for 5 weeks. Came back to America, came back to Florida, and then I went back again and stayed with her for 5 months. I was burning up visa time. I used up all my visa time, okay, with Colombian immigration. Then I came back to the United States, and then I went back again a third time, and I got a visa to stay in Colombia for 12 months. So I didn't have to worry about my visa timing out. Then I stayed with her for 10 months, okay? After I'd been to Colombia twice and spent a total of 6 months with her, 6.5, almost 7 months, that's when I filed my visa. So I didn't want to, a one-time visit it's legal. It's within the realms and the rules of the immigration congressional law. But how strong is the relationship? How much evidence do you have? How much time did you spend together? Do you have a bunch of pictures together? Did you spend a lot of time together? Did you go on trips together? I took Karina to Cucuta, Colombia for vacation. We stayed at the Hilton Hotel for 3 or 4 days. Then we went to let me see. Then a couple of months later, we went on vacation to Cartagena, Colombia, which is on the west coast of Colombia. And we stayed there for a week. We stayed at the Ibis Hotel in Cartagena, overlooking the Caribbean Sea. We took a bus ride from Cucuta to Bogota, a 15-hour bus ride to explore the north, to go from northern Colombia to central Colombia. I mean, I put all that evidence in the K1 visa package. Airplane tickets, bus tickets, hotel receipts, dinner receipts, everything. So how strong is how strong is the relationship on one trip? You could be together one time and spend 3 months together, right? Or 6 months together, or 5 months together. One visit, spend 3 months together. Immigration's good with that. If you go one time and spend a weekend together, that ain't enough time. Let's see here. Mas Kerem Mengsu, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. They're processing K1 visas, 6 to 8 weeks. They're good. No issues there. Mependano K Awake. How long do you have to be in a relationship to file a petition? Well, there's no rule of thumb, really, on how long you have to be together. You could fall in love with somebody in a month or 2 months, right? But immigration want to see evidence of that 2 months. You spent every minute together in those 2 months. You went everywhere together. You went on trips together. I dated Karina for a year, 1 year, and then I filed the petition. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody. 2 months together is good as long as you got strong evidence. Abidali, I sent emails, but it does not go. My email refuses to go. I do not know why. Okay, what are you using? A Gmail account or a Hotmail account? What kind of email do you have? What account? Use a Gmail account. Hotmail account probably won't make it through. IS, what is the best way for me to be supportive during the time to my beneficiary? He gets stressed out and snaps at times. In addition, the distance adds tension. I need advice. Well, you got to keep him calm. Okay, calm him down. Keep him calm. He doesn't like it when I talk about certain topics, but it's necessary because we need to prepare. And you miss him. Absolutely. You need to take charge of your situation here. Take charge. You're the stronger person, right? Apparently you're the strong person. You got it going up here. You've got your mindset good. You're strong. Keep him calm. Stay in touch with him. Do the WhatsApp live chats. And Karina calls me every night on WhatsApp. Hey, what's going on, Diego? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Te amo, mi amor. Just got to stay in touch with each other. And if it gets to a point where you're having bad problems, okay, you got to get on a plane and go see him. Get on a plane and go see your beneficiary in her country. It's much easier for American citizens to get a plane ticket and fly to their beneficiary's country. Although now Europe in 2024, they just changed this. They just made this stupid rule where Americans have to fill out some kind of form or whatever, pay some kind of visa fee to go visit Europe. I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Mependano K, awake. I really like this YouTube live. Well, I'm glad. We get time to ask questions. That's right. And get answers right away. I'll give the answer right away. God bless you, Diego, for your responding to us. No problem. It's not a problem. You send a message to immigration, USCIS, they've got 70, 80, 100,000 people, 200,000 emails. I mean, it's insane the workload that they have to do. It's not just K1 visas. It's F1 visas. It's B1, B2. It's spousal, CR1. And then they got their fraud unit over here where they got to do investigations on fraudulent visas. Then they got this unit over here. I mean, it's a busy place. But this YouTube channel, I put it together for you guys. So you can get answers right away. I know 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, I know the answer to your question, no matter what it is. This is my second K1 visa, successfully approved and almost completed this one. And I've gone through a spousal visa one time successfully. I know how to do this. And I tell you what, I got to get me a Mountain Dew because I am cooking here. I'm too cheap to fix my AC. Ooh. Did you see that? It just spilled all over me. Let me see here. So you really like the YouTube channel. We get time to ask questions. Matt Pendano, K08, would you tell us when you will be live? Yeah, I'm live. Mondays at 7 p.m., Wednesdays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 7 p.m., which is Central Time, okay? So I go live 3 times a week for about an hour and a half. We've been talking, 28 minutes. I go another hour with you guys and answer all your questions, okay? So you got someplace to go and get answers. Well, you don't have to wait for immigration, USCIS, to get back to you. Let's see. Mependano, how can we reach out to you for more questions? I'm right here on the live stream 3 times a week. I'm here 12 times a month. 12 times a month. That's 12. That's 13, 4. That's about 18 hours a month. That's pretty good. Remember, I'm doing this just as a volunteer basis. Okay, it's not my job. It's a volunteer basis. And I made a mess here, guys, but that's okay. Let me take a drink of my Mountain Dew. Pete B, thank you for the Mountain Dew. And as we get closer to September, it won't be so hot here. But I will be probably in Colombia By September, I'll be in Colombia. Oh, that's not good. Let me put it right there. Okay, Mependano, I am live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, U.S. time. Antonio, who started all this visa stuff? Why we just can't bring the person we love to our home country? That's true. Every country controls their borders, okay, for security reasons. Okay, it's not that easy. I mean, it would be. I wish it was that easy, but there's a lot of bad people in the world that would love to come to America and do harm to Americans and foreign nationals that live here. We don't want that. We got to make sure our borders are safe, right? Got to keep them safe. Jeff Mantalk, thank you. High five for that super chat right there. Super sticker, super chat. Thank you, Jack. Jeff, thank you, Jeff Mantalk. That is greatly appreciated. It's hot here. I can stock up on Mountain Dew tomorrow now. Let me see. Yeah, Antonio, if it was that easy, to bring people in, that would be a great security risk, not just to the United States, but to other countries too. Every country in the world has an immigration process. Every country, believe it or not, the Mexican immigration laws are stricter than American. It's so strict to get in. If you break immigration laws in Mexico, you go into jail. And let's see here. Yes, you and Karina should do a meet and greet sometime. That's a good idea. You are the K1 therapist to us here on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to help you. Karina's going to help you. We're all in the same boat, right? We're going through the same process. I've been through it before, twice before. So I know what's around the corner. I've been walking through this immigration maze for 8 years. So when I get to the end of a process, I know what's going to be at the other end. And then I prepare you for it so you don't get surprised. Mependeno, great. Joe Atala, the welcome letter is related to the embassy time to process the visa, or just took the time at the embassy to process it and ship it. The welcome letter is basically giving you a case number, telling you they got your package, and they're going to ship it to the embassy. And they're welcoming you. They're saying, we're glad you want to immigrate to the United States. Lindsay Dorr, hi Diego, can you tell me more about the family reunification place? Yeah, there's about 8 countries that, let's suppose you're from Colombia and you live in the United States of America. You live in Miami. You're a Colombian citizen. You live in Miami, and you have a family member in Colombia who's struggling financially or having a hard time getting a job or finding a place to live or having a difficult time in Colombia. That person in Colombia can be sponsored by the Colombian living in the United States for family reunification. They got to be related somehow, okay? And they go online. The person in the United States will go online and fill out Form I-134A, the Declaration of Financial Support, which is saying they will take care of the person when they get to the United States. That's all it is. Guatemala, Nicaragua, Colombia, Venezuela. That's the process. Somebody from Venezuela, a family member from Venezuela, lives in America. Okay, they can sponsor somebody from Venezuela, although the person from Venezuela would have to enter Colombia and find a place to live in Colombia and process it out that way, because we don't get along with the Venezuelan government. We don't like communist dictators. So we don't have any communications with Maduro in Venezuela. Well, we have communications, but they're probably not friendly. So yeah, that's the basic process. But I'm trying to keep this to K1 visas. Jeff Mantalk, you're very welcome. Thank you for all you do. Hey, Jeff, thank you for that super chat, my friend. That is greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Fazak, I filed for my fiance on the initial application, but not her 20-year-old daughter. Can I add her daughter before the embassy interview? No. Fazak, when you fill out an I-129F, okay, it is a request to bring your fiance to the United States. By law, you have to include the kids on the I-129F. By law. Congressional law says you must include the kids on the I-129F. And she's under 21, so she qualifies for the K2 visa. You can't, if you didn't include her on the I-129F, there's going to be an issue. And this would be where you would need an immigration attorney. I'm not an immigration attorney, okay? I'm not. I know how to process a K1 visa from A to Z the right way. And the right way to do it is when you fill out the I-129F is you include the kids as K2 derivatives. If you do not include the child on the I-129F, more than likely your visa will be denied at the embassy when it gets to the embassy. You can't just add people willy-nilly. You can't do that. Fazak, you need to contact USCIS Service Center, wherever your visa is, and write a letter and ask for directions. They may have you resubmit the whole package. Okay? That's my advice. Whoopslap. Europe developed travel visa in the late 19th century. Visa and passport was viewed as the same document until World War I. We learned something new from Whoopslap today. Sarah William. Hey, Diego, what do I have to do to get invoice number and case number? Well, did I have to make appointment for interview? Do you have an NOA-1 letter? Do you have an NOA-2 letter? Did you get an NOA-2 letter, Sarah? Do you have an NOA-2 letter? Which embassy? Give me more information so I can help you. The Mosquito guy. Hey, Diego, we submitted our K1 packet last month and it was accepted on July 29th. Okay. And appears to be California. Does it say WAC on your receipt number? If it says WAC on your receipt number, it doesn't appear to be California. It is in California. Are we looking at another 14 months before my fiance flies to Florida? July. Let me see. No, it won't be that long. Was it July 29th, 2023? July 29th, 2022? Mosquito guy, remind me. You got to be more specific in dates and times so I can help you. Thevi Straypov. Hi, Diego from New Hampshire. Whoa, New Hampshire. Can petitioners attend the face-to-face interview in the embassy in Cambodia, the U.S. Embassy in Cambodia? I believe they can. Now, Chopper Harley, he's a great supporter of this channel. Chopper Harley's beneficiary is in Cambodia. And I wish he was on here right now because he would know the answer to that question. I believe that you can, though. I believe it's at the embassy in Cambodia, yes. Hang Horn, is there a digital version of the welcome letter? My case status online is ready. However, I haven't received the welcome letter. Yeah, they send you an email. The welcome letter, Hang Horn, comes by email from the MVC. MVC is going to email you. Hey, we got welcome, blah, 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 blah. Then they'll send you a hard copy letter. Isaac Medrano, when we get the welcome letter and wait to send for MVC, can she do the medical exam? The medical exam is good for 6 months. So you can do the medical exam if you want to, but just make sure that it doesn't time out before you can get a visa interview, because the medical exam is good for 6 months. Okay, so if you want to get a medical exam, go right ahead, but make sure you can get a visa interview within that 6 months, or else you're going to have to redo the medical exam and cost you more money. And we don't want that, right? We want to save you money. Fazak, I added the information on daughter, but never enclosed the fee. Fazak, then you're good. There's no cost for a K2. Did you pay $535 fee, K1 visa fee? Fazak, you paid $535. You wrote the check out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You put a check in there and you mailed it to the Dallas lockbox and they cashed the check, right? And you included the child in the I-129F, right? You're good. There's no extra fee for the kid. You covered it. You are good to go. So what you're thinking, Fazak, is that you have to pay a K1 visa fee and a K2 visa fee. That's not true. You pay one fee, $535 up front for the I-129F. One person, two persons, three persons, four persons, whatever. When you get to the embassy status, when you go to the U.S. Embassy visa interview, you're going to fill out a DS. Well, your beneficiary, you can help her, will fill out the DS-160 for her and her kids. You're going to pay a visa fee for her and her kids. So if you got one beneficiary, you're going to pay a visa fee for the beneficiary. If you have a child derivative K2, you're going to pay for the K2. Okay? At the embassy ready status. So you're okay, Fazak. You'll be okay. There's no fee, Fazak, for a K2. It's free. It's all included. K1, K2 is all included in the $535. Sarah William, Ethiopia. Okay, you're going to be all right, Sarah. Let me see here. Vivian Chiamaka Uzama. Hi, Diego. I hope you're doing great, doing good. Please, I would like to know if a bank statement is one of the necessary financial documents to include when going to the visa interview. Is it compulsory? 12, you can do two things, one of two things. You can get 12 months worth of bank statements because immigration want to see how much money your sponsor made in 12 months, in a year. Because when your sponsor fills out the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support, he or she is going to put a yearly income amount on the I-134. Immigration think that's great, but they don't take your word for it. So they want to see bank statements showing 12 months, of income. When Karina goes to her face-to-face visa interview, she's going to have 12 months worth of bank statements from me, showing my income, my direct deposits from my job, from my retirement from the Navy, every month. And the immigration officer can look at it, January, February, March, April, May, and everything's going to add up to what I put on the I-134. Do you get what I'm saying? It's compulsory, yes. The other alternative is to have your bank write a letter saying that, this is how much money was deposited into this bank account over 12 months. That's another way to do it. But it's much easier for me. I get my bank statement on my phone every month. I just print it off my computer here and put it in my visa package for Karina every month. Kaiser H. Diego, can my beneficiary be able to pay her visa fee of $265 at the bank in her home country, which is Mumbai, India? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, she can. Get the receipt. Get the MERV receipt. The Mosquito Guy, July 2023. Okay, Mosquito Guy, I got you. I remember now. So you filed your K1 visa and you got your NOA1 letter July 2023, right? So by next summer, by next June, May, June, or July of next year, you'll get your NOA2 letter. Maybe earlier. Stick around with, hang out with us here on the channel and we'll monitor your progress, okay? I'll help you get through it. AK-47 Hotshot. Diego, I got my MVC letter via email 1 week ago. When do you think I'll get a ready status? I waited almost 100 days for the welcome letter. Yeah, it's about a 90, 100-day wait. That's average. What I would do is send an email to the embassy and check in and say, hey, dear Mr. Embassy, dear immigration officer, here's my case number, here's my welcome letter, here's my invoice number, blah, blah, blah. Give me some directions. They will respond back to you. Chopper Holly. Chopper is in the house. Chopper Holly's in the house. Hey, Chopper. Yeah, your beneficiary is in Cambodia. I remember. Chopper Holly is a fantastic supporter of this channel, by the way, guys. He's up there with Denise Jefferson. Fazak. Yes, I paid the fee. We thought the 16-month time frame would be over 21, but applications are now moving faster. That's true. Chopper Harley says they can attend the Cambodia. They can attend the interview in Cambodia. I thought they could, Chopper Harley, but thanks for clarifying. Paya, India. Eno, are you here? So Paya is looking for Eno. Eno, where are you? Sarah William, good evening, sir. I have a case number and an invoice number. Okay. So So also, when I checked my status, it stated the case was ready for interview. What should be the next step? Okay, Sarah, email the embassy. In the subject line of your email, put your case number, your name, date of birth, or your beneficiary's name, date of birth. Write a little email to the embassy and say, hey, dear Mr. Immigration Officer, I'm in a ready status. Please send me directions what to do. When I get the welcome letter for Karina from Bogota, from the MVC in New Hampshire, I'll get a case number. Maybe I'll get an invoice number. Maybe I won't. It depends. But what I'll do is I will email the U.S. Embassy in Bogota and say, hello, Mr. Immigration Officer. I got my case number, got my welcome letter. But I'm going to wait about 2 weeks before I do that. I'm going to give the National Visa Center 2 weeks from when I receive my welcome letter to send Karina's K1 visa package to the embassy in Bogota. Okay? I'm going to wait 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I'm going to be emailing the embassy. You got to start coordinating and being proactive and letting the embassy people know who you are and what your case is. They don't know. But if you email them, they'll find it in their computer and they will start communicating with you and processing your case, your visa. Okay, you got it, Sarah? Email the embassy. But wait a couple of weeks after you got your welcome letter from the MVC. Give the MVC time to put that visa package on a plane and send it by DHL courier to the embassy. Mercat. Hi, Diego. Hey, Mercat. Hi, Diego and Karina. Thank you for this live session. Not a problem. Today, I received an email from the MVC. Okay. It said MVC did not receive my NOA2 approval notice from USCIS. Not sure what to do. Well, then you got to wait for USCIS to mail your package to the MVC, Mercat. The MVC hasn't received it. USCIS may have sent you a letter or an email saying they sent it, but they haven't. Okay? Just like the MVC was sending out letters that there was COVID shutting down the embassy in Bogota. It wasn't. So what I would do is just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Okay? Come back, stay on the channel with us, and I'll help you get through this process. What you need to do, Mercat, is wait. Don't send inquiries to MVC. They don't have your case. When the MVC get it, they will send you an email. They will. They'll contact you. They have to. Congressional law says they have to. Congressional law says immigration has to review your case at the lockbox in Dallas, at the service center in California, at the MVC in New Hampshire, at the embassy in your beneficiary's country. It's congressional law. There's no way around it. You submit a package, you're entitled to an answer. Okay? You just got to wait out the process. It's not like you're not going to get an answer. You will. And if you've already received an NOA2 letter, wait 30 days, wait 90 days for the MVC. Thank you for the advice from Mercat. No problem. This is all about being patient, guys. This is a patience game. This is like, it's like your beneficiary, your wife is pregnant. And you're 2 weeks along. And it's going to take 9 months for the baby, right? You got to be patient. The baby's inside growing and happy and growing and happy. Then one day, boom, there's the baby. Same thing with a K1 visa. Okay? Got to be patient. It's growing. It's growing. It's being processed. Kaiser, Diego, so when my beneficiary goes to pay her visa fee of $265, what documents will she have to take with her so she can get the MOV receipt? She got to prove who she is. Her passport. Right? She's got to have a picture ID. And I got flies getting in here. I got good screens on my window. She's got to have a picture ID. Paya, India. Hi, Diego. Before divorce and after divorce, my daughter lives with X. Okay. I'm paying for both per month. Continue as per family court order. Okay. Shortly, will NOA2 affect my case? No. It's civil. It's a civil case. It's got nothing to do with anything other than that you are having to pay money to somebody. Okay, as long as you meet the immigration income requirements, the minimum income requirements to sponsor a beneficiary, you're good. Okay, divorce, is a civil case. As long as you have a final divorce decree in your hand, you're good to go. Final divorce decree. That's all they want to look. Immigration. That's all they're looking at. Then they're going to run a police check on you at the MVC. They're going to look for criminal. Now, if there's any criminal, felony, hurting women, hurting children, murder, anything bad, that's felonious, 3 or 4 DUIs, something like that, there's going to be issues. But a divorce and going through paying child support has got nothing to do with immigration. They don't care. Well, they just care that you can meet the income requirements for your new beneficiary. Sarah William, case is ready for your interview when scheduled at the U.S. Consulate section. If you have already scheduled an appointment for an interview, please prepare your documents as directed in your appointment. Okay, there you go. So so in the letter, what are they asking you to do? What are they asking you? Preparing documents. Okay, so for the visa interview, what documents are you going to need for the visa interview? Divorce decree, certified, original. Tax transcripts, tax returns, 3 years, W-2s, 1099s, passports, birth certificates, police certificates translated into English by a certified translator. If your beneficiary has any college degrees, bring that. Bring everything you got. Okay, photos of you guys in a relationship over the last 2 or 3 years, whatever. Boarding passes, plane tickets, hotel receipts, everything. Prepare for the visa interview. Okay. Nancy Fanilda, hi Diego, how many days MVC to transit? Depends on the embassy, Nancy. How busy is the embassy? Sarah, no problem. Thanks so much. No problem, Sarah. Get all your documents together. Birth certificates. Now, if the birth certificates are in a foreign language, they got to be translated into English by a certified translator. Okay. Police certificates, the MERV receipt, the DS-160 confirmation page. I've made a video about what to bring to the visa interview. I can make a new one if you want me to. Ashley Santana, hi Diego, can I take my baby to the interview in Santo Domingo? The baby has to go, Ashley Santana. It's mandatory. Your baby is now. Let me ask you this, Ashley: is your baby going through a K1? Is a K2, or is it your sponsors? You are together with your sponsor. Is your baby a U.S. citizen? Did you register the birth with the embassy? But no matter what, K1, the K2, being a derivative, or the U.S. citizen, okay, yeah, the baby is a U.S. citizen. So it's your baby with your sponsor. There's a fly in here, guys. Yeah, the baby has to go to the visa interview, yes. The immigration officer wants to see the baby, okay? Needs to look at the baby, whether it's K1, whether it's K2, or whether it's a U.S. citizen baby. The immigration officer needs to see the baby. Now, the baby's not going to get any questions, but the immigration must see the child. Sarah William, did I have to fill the form DS-160 before the interview? Yeah, you got to fill it out, DS-160. You got to print the confirmation page that you completed the DS-160. You're the beneficiary, right, Sarah? Or are you the sponsor? You got to have, your beneficiary has to have the DS-160 confirmation page, or you don't have a visa interview. Kaiser, Diego, do you know how long it is taking to schedule K1 visa interview at the consulate in Mumbai, India? 2 to 4 months is what I'm seeing. They're getting them done. So, Sarah, you're the sponsor. Okay. So your beneficiary, Sarah, has to have a printout of the DS-160. Okay. The confirmation page. Your beneficiary must have the original I-134, Declaration of Financial Support. Your beneficiary must have your last 3 years of tax returns, tax transcripts, W-2s, 1099s, a copy of your proof of U.S. citizenship, naturalization certificate, U.S. passport, birth certificate, long form. The U.S. immigration got to see you're a U.S. citizen. Let's see here. Police certificates for your beneficiary. Let's see here. The receipt for paying for the visa, the MERV receipt. The welcome letter, if you can get the welcome letter. Paya, India. Sir, if officer asks me who will pay our child fee after entering USA. If officer asks me who will pay your child fee. What child fee? What are you talking about? Paya, India? What child fee are you talking about? There's no such thing as a child fee. You pay for the K2 visa for the child. Okay, unless the child is a U.S. citizen, then there's no visa. You don't have to fill out a DS-160 for a U.S. citizen. They just get a passport. They get a plane. You buy them a plane ticket. They get on the plane. There's no child fee. Excuse me, guys. It's hot. But there's no such thing as a child fee. Now there's a visa fee for the child if it's K2. But there's no child fee upon entering the United States of America. There isn't. The only fee you're going to have entering the United States of America is the adjustment of status fee for the child if the child is not a U.S. citizen. You adjust status. What does adjust status mean? Do you know what that means? What does it mean, adjustment of status? It means you're going to apply for the green card. And when you apply for the green card, your beneficiary is going to apply for his or her green card. And then the child is going to apply for his or her green card. And if the child is not understanding how to read or write, then the primary beneficiary fills it out for the child. Include both adjustment of status paperwork in the same envelope, but there's two separate fees. The beneficiary has to pay an adjustment of status fee. It's over $1,000 right now. I can't remember what it is. Over $1,000. And then the child will have to pay an adjustment of status fee. Over $1,000 for the green card. So you put them both in the same package. Okay, don't do it separately. That way they arrive together, and that will reduce the paperwork for you. Sarah, you're welcome, Sarah. Thevi Strapov. Diego, the petitioner, have a kid. Which session do I need to fill out the I-134 form? Okay. If you are bringing somebody to the United States, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, and your beneficiary has a child, you're going to fill out an I-134 for the beneficiary. You're going to sign the form and date it. Right now, it's edition July 31, 2023. Use that form. Then you're going to fill out an I-134, sign it and date it for the child. If you have two children in the K2 visa process, you're going to have an I-134 for the beneficiary and two I-134s, one for each child. Then you have to sign every I-134. The I-134 is a separate promise to the U.S. government, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, that you're going to take care of your beneficiary when they get to the United States. Kaiser H. Diego, can my beneficiary schedule her medical exam before her K1 visa interview? Sure, you can do that. Or is it the other way around? What's your recommendation? Kaiser H, remember, there's a 6-month expiration date on the medical exam. So if your beneficiary schedules her medical exam and you haven't scheduled the interview yet, just remember that the medical exam will expire, okay, in 6 months. If you don't get the visa interview within 6 months, guess what? You got to redo the medical exam all over again. Okay, so it's up to you. Here's what Karina and I are going to do. I'm going to schedule the visa interview first. Then we're going to schedule the medical exam in Bogota, Colombia. That's the process I'm going to do. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But, that's right. I'm going to terminate you. Oh. Anyway, Okay, guys, come on, hit me with some questions. I've been talking for 1 hour. I'll keep going if you want me to keep going. If you want me to keep talking, I'll keep the live stream going for another 30 minutes. But if I've answered all of your questions, I will stop. Okay, Thavi, Diego, I mean the petitioner's kids. The petitioner's kids. No, you don't fill out an I-134 for the petitioner's children. No, you fill out an I-134 only for the beneficiary's children, not for your kids in the United States. Tina, hi Diego. I recently got sick and I'm still sick and don't have enough paid vacation time. It will appear that I didn't get paid compared to the last paycheck I'll be sending out my recent bank. Okay, Tina. Well, I'm glad. I'm sorry you got sick. I hope you're feeling better. My recent bank statement and pay stubs to my fiance soon, since his interview is coming up. Don't worry about that. Immigration's gonna make it. Here's what I would do: type a little letter up and explain that, and attach it to that bank statement. Type a letter from Tina to U.S. Embassy, wherever the embassy is. I was sick during this pay period, so the income is a little less. Sign it and date it, and you got it covered. Immigration want to see evidence, explanations, evidence, explanations. If you do that, you're good. So don't worry about it. Just explain it. Paya, India. So I'm paying child support per month as per court order. It's civil. If officer asks how you will your child support after entering USA, any documents required to show the officer? No. The I-134, Paya, India. When you fill out the I-134 for your beneficiary's children, you're going to fill out an I-134 for each child, for the beneficiary and for her kids. The income on the I-134 is the document that immigration is going to use to approve your entry into the United States. And I've got to take care of this fly, guys. Hold on a second, because he's irritating me. This fly keeps trying to land on my Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's see. So Paya, India. When you fill out the I-134 for the children of your beneficiary and sign and date it, that is the form immigration will go by to allow your beneficiary's kids to enter to the United States. Okay, there's no fee, there's no child fee, none of that. AK-47, should the sponsor go to the interview as well for Colombia? Now, AK-47, don't you spell Colombia with a U, you're going to get in trouble with immigration. Okay, Colombians don't like that. Colombians do not like their country being spelled with a U. When you go to El Dorado International Airport in Bogota, Colombia, there are T-shirts that say it's spelled Colombia, not Colombia. There are bull caps that say Colombia is spelled with an O, not a U. Starbucks, the company Starbucks, almost lost a contract with the Colombian government because when they applied for the franchise agreement in Colombia, they addressed the company with a U. Now, I'm serious. So never, ever spell Colombia with a U unless you're talking about Columbia, South Carolina. But the question is, should the sponsor go to the interview as well in Colombia? Sure, why not? Show support for your beneficiary. I'm going to be there with Karina. If the immigration officer has a question for me, I'll answer the question in Spanish or in English. Either one's fine with me. Susie Gomez. Hello, Diego. Hey, Susie, what's going on? Ashley, in the interview in Santo Domingo, about how long? 2 to 4 weeks. It's pretty quick, Ashley. Santo Domingo are processing visas fast. Susie Gomez. So MVC will also send us an email and welcome letter. Yes. Yep. To the sponsor, not the petitioner. Bud Garcia. Good afternoon, Diego. What is the timeline for interviews for Thailand? 3 to 8 weeks. Thailand's pretty good. The embassy in Bangkok processing K1 visas pretty good. The average turnaround time is about 20 months from NOA1 to K1 visa in passport. Edwina Davis, I received a letter from NVC that our petition has been forwarded to the consulate in Frankfurt, right in Germany, right? And that we should wait to hear from Frankfurt, but we did not receive any welcome letter. Is that an issue? It's not an issue, Edwina. What I would do is send an email to the U.S. Embassy, or I think it's a consulate in Frankfurt, Germany, and check in with them. Say, hey, hello, it's me, it's Edwina. Here's my case number. Did you receive my visa package from the NVC? Give me directions for the next step. Remember, every embassy's got their own little way of doing stuff. Tina, okay, thank you, Diego, for that. No problem. IS, how can the beneficiary prove he will continue to pay child support even if he leaves the country? What type of document may be provided? Child will stay with mother in India. So on the I-134, USCIS form I-134 is where you put down who your dependents are and how much you're paying for those dependents. Tina, I will address an explanation to the U.S. Embassy, okay? Jeff Mantok, Ashley, how far into this process are you? Okay, Jeff and Ashley connect with each other. Paya, do you know after NOA2 how long Mumbai consulate will take time for my interview? I have no idea, Paya. Every month is different. The workload is different. Fazak, okay, I did not fill out an I-134 for her daughter. The daughter's information was just added as her family on her I-134 application. As I said, we did not think she would qualify based on the 16-month. Fazak, you need to fill out an I-134 for her daughter. Sign it and date it. And get it to your beneficiary. Fill it out. Get her done and mail it. Edwina Davis, how long would it take to hear from Frankfurt? Who will they contact? My fiance has changed his address in Germany. Okay, it's okay to move, okay? It's no big deal. Immigration, they're not really concerned if your beneficiary moves. What they're concerned about is if you move as the sponsor. So if you are a sponsor and you move, you must tell immigration where you're at, okay? So, I keep getting all these text messages. Everybody's asking me questions, but come on to the live stream, guys. Don't message me here. Just come on the live stream. So for Frankfurt, the turnaround time is pretty quick for a K1 visa, okay? But if your fiance moved, don't worry about it. As long as immigration know how to get a hold of you, Edwina, then you're good to go. Don't try and confuse immigration. When you fill out the DS-160, if you help your beneficiary fill out the DS-160, I don't know if your beneficiary can speak English or not, because you have to fill out the DS-160 in English. But if he can speak English, no problem. That's when you can update addresses on the DS-160. The DS-160 is the application for the K1 visa. Fazak, so I need to fill out I-134 for daughter and just mail it? Will they make correct connection to my fiance's application? Well, Fazak, have you had a face-to-face visa interview yet? Your beneficiary. Has your beneficiary had a face-to-face visa interview at the embassy in his or her in her country? Has she had a face-to-face visa interview? I need to know the answer to that question. Then I can answer this question. Okay? If your fiance in her country has not had her face-to-face visa interview, fill out the I-134 for her daughter and get it to her so she can bring it to the interview. All right, Fazak, I'm about ready I'm going to save you from having a very bad day at the embassy interview. You're going to get an administrative 221G if you don't listen to what I'm saying to you. Fill out the I-134 for the daughter, sign it, date it, put it in a DHL. No interview, just mailed in her application April. Okay, Fazak, send her another one for the kid, for the child. I have just saved you, Fazak, from a massive headache. Thank goodness you came on this YouTube channel and this live stream. I saved you big here. Fill out the I-134 for the daughter, sign it, date it, send it to your beneficiary tomorrow. Let's see here. Edwina, should I complete the I-134 and mail it now, or should we wait till we hear from them? When do we fill out the DS-160? Okay, Edwina, you fill out the I-134 when you have a visa interview scheduled. You fill out the DS-160 when you have a visa interview scheduled. When you have the visa interview scheduled, that's when you fill out those forms, okay? In my opinion, the DS-160. The I-134 you can do now if you want, but that's up to you. Thomas Besant, brother, you're doing a great work. I'm in the same position as you, waiting for the MVC. Yeah, Thomas, just be patient. You know, I kick back here in Florida, got my Mountain Dew. I got my Carina. We chat every day. Everything's good, though. Everything is fantastic. Bud Garcia, is there anything to worry about at the interview? How long do they last? No. The only people that have to worry about a K-1 visa interview are those people in a fraudulent relationship who are trying to steal a K-1 visa from somebody. Those are fraud people. Those are the ones that should worry. If you guys, all you guys are all in real relationships, you're good to go. The visa interview is going to last maybe 2 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. IS, so child support will not affect the beneficiary visa. He has been paying on time and does not owe anything. No. Do we still need to provide a copy of child support settlement? No. IS, okay, let me say this for the third time. IS, I'm going to help you, okay? When you fill out the I-134, Declaration of Financial Support, the Declaration of Financial Support, that's where you put all the dependents on there and how much money you make per year. Immigration is going to look at that. They don't care about child support payments. They couldn't care less about all that stuff, okay? All they care about is how much does the sponsor make and how many dependents does he have. Got Fazak. Yeah, you have. God bless. Fazak, I saved you a massive, massive headache, my friend. A huge error would have, a big headache would have come down on your head. So I'm just very grateful that you decided to jump on the live stream today. IS and receipts. Receipts for what? Mapindano KO8. What if my fiance lives with my daughter from my previous marriage? How can I fill the petition? Fill it out. Fill out the petition. How do you fill it out? If your fiance lives with, what if my fiance lives with my daughter from my previous marriage? You just make sure you got the right address. Immigration don't care who she lives with. All they care about is, can she get in touch? Can immigration reach her? Hard Team Art for Art. How many forms I need to send to the U.S. Embassy? Now, that's a video in itself, Heart Tim. And I made a video about what to do, how to do that. Just look through my videos and you will find it. I made a video all about what documents should you bring to the immigration interview. Kaiser H. Diego. So once my beneficiary's K-1 visa interview has been done at the consulate in her home country, then how long does it take for her to get the passport back? Depends on the country. In Colombia, it's all done in about 4 days, 3 to 4 days. Which country? Average is 10 days. Hard Tim Art for Art. Why you sharing video about Sweden so fast service? Why U.S. Embassy in Morocco still doesn't answer? Sweden is quicker than Morocco. The U.S. Embassy in Sweden is quicker than the U.S. Embassy in Colombia. The U.S. Embassy in Colombia is quicker than the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. The U.S. Embassy in the Philippines is quicker than the embassy in Mexico. Every embassy is different. Every embassy is different. Different times, different processing times, different processing procedures. Fazak. So if I fill out the I-134, DHL it to my fiance, does she then take that to the interview? Yes. Fazak. You need to fill out an I-134, sign it and date it for your beneficiary and for her child. 2 separate forms. It's 13 pages long for each form. Don't pull any pages out. 13 pages per form per person. Sign it, date it. Put it in a DHL, get it to your beneficiary before the visa interview, or you're going to have a big problem. I saved you. CBY05. Hi, Diego. Once my girlfriend from Venezuela gets her passport, I remember you. Would it be better if she gets asylum in Colombia? No. Or can she file for a visa for Mexico? I have family in Mexico. Get her to Mexico. If you can get her from Venezuela to Mexico, once she gets her passport, she needs to buy her a plane ticket, round trip from Caracas to Mexico City, round trip. So the Venezuelan communist dictators at the immigration don't think she's fleeing the country. Round trip. When she lands in Mexico, cancel the return trip ticket, recover that money within 24 hours, okay? Get your fiance from Venezuela to Mexico with your family, and then when you fill out the I-129F, put down Mexico City as the consular office or the embassy. But it's quicker to go through the embassy in Bogota, in my opinion, than Mexico City or Ciudad. Any questions on that? If you're going to send her to Mexico, that's perfectly fine. Get her temporary residency in Mexico. Shouldn't be hard to do. Okay, buy a round trip ticket from Venezuela to Mexico City, round trip. Get her to Mexico, then cancel the ticket back to Venezuela, and she's done. Okay, and make sure you put Mexico City down as the embassy on your I-129F for consular processing. But I would go to Bogota because it's quicker. Mr. Najas, Diego, have an idea about how doing live on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. One day a week so we can join the live and talk to you. Remember, it's just an idea. Mr. Najas is a good idea, but I can't stand Facebook, my friend. I hate Facebook. Well, I don't hate it. I don't hate anything. I dislike Facebook. Okay? I try to avoid Facebook. I use Facebook just to publish pictures of Karina and I together in Colombia so immigration can see it because it gives a timestamp. Facebook and I don't get along. Okay? We don't get along. But it's a good idea, Mr. Najas. Why don't you create a Facebook live group in Facebook? Hi, Tim. You said in one video before that 4 months they can send me welcome letter. 3 months, 4 months, it depends on the embassy, my friend. Edwina, when do we get the visa interview? Is it the consulate that gives us the date or we request the interview date? Edwina, 99% of all embassies around the world want the sponsor to schedule the visa interview for the beneficiary. So more than likely, it's going to be you scheduling the visa interview. Ashley, so if baby is a U.S. citizen, her attendance to the interview is optional. Pretty much, yeah, I would say. But I would bring the baby along. You never know what the immigration officer is going to say. Where's your baby? You never know. But the baby's a U.S. citizen, so the baby just needs a U.S. passport. So it's probably not mandatory. It's optional. But I would bring the baby along just in case you get one of those stick in the mud immigration officers that want to see the baby. Just my opinion. Janiela James, questions, Diego. I didn't get an official welcome letter from the MVC, but they emailed me the case number and invoice number in a regular email. Do I print it and bring it to the interview? Yes, definitely print that. Definitely print that and bring it to the visa interview. Denise Jefferson, Diego, I recently learned that beneficiaries are being coaxed into paying for an interview in Logos. That's illegal. They show up for the appointment and then turned away. And it is causing delays for those who play by the rules. It's illegal. Can't do that. That is a fraud on the embassy. Okay? So my advice would be to tell your beneficiary, don't fall into that trap. Denise, we're all about circumventing the process. Somebody's just scamming somebody. Okay? That's Not good. Hi, Tim. Tell me about scheduled interview. Why all this time of waiting? How do you mean tell you about scheduled interview? The embassy will send you a letter of readiness saying they're ready for you. When they're ready for you, then you can schedule the visa interview. Pay the fee, schedule the interview when they're ready. Okay? Susie Gomez, are you serious, Denise? Bud Garcia, should my fiance wear her engagement ring to the interview? No. Do not wear any rings to visa interviews. Okay, I got my promise ring here. I'm going to take it off when I go to the visa interview with Karina. You don't want to give the immigration officer an idea that you guys got married during the K-1 visa process. And you might get one, especially in countries like the Philippines, India, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait. The embassy officers in those countries, if they see engagement rings, they might deny the visa. Take them off, put the rings in their box that they came in, and then bring the box to the visa interview. So if the immigration officer says, are you guys engaged? Did you get an engagement ring? Karina, did you get an engagement ring? Karina will go put her hand in her purse, in her cartera, and pull out open the box, and there's her engagement ring. It's not going to be on her finger at the face-to-face. As soon as we leave the embassy and go back to our apartment in Bogota, she'll put it back on. Don't wear it. Denise Jefferson, yes, Susie, the press release was out on Facebook. Frazak, once again, thanks. You're a gift from God. Frazak, everybody in here is a gift from God. I don't care what religion you are, what country you live in, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, whatever. You're all a gift from God, right? Perfect. Let's see here. Fazak, no problem. Paya, after divorce, I not talk with my daughter because she lives with my ex. Okay. And my daughter will not go with me. Okay, no problem. Should I need her with me when I get interview or sign from her? Is she going to be coming to the United States with you, Paya, India? Is she coming to America? Did you get her a K2 visa? Did you include her on a K2 visa? Help me out here. If she's going to be on a K2 visa, she needs to be at the interview with you. CBY05, under what type of visa? I don't know what Mexico has. I'm sure Mexico has a residency visa that your beneficiary can apply for. Karina's from Venezuela, and she got asylum in Colombia. She in 2018. Mexico will offer asylum to Venezuelans. All South American countries will. Central America also. Except I don't think Nicaragua. Nicaragua is under a communist dictatorship too. We pray for the people of Nicaragua, and we pray for the people of Venezuela. Let's see here. Edwina Davis, how do I schedule the interview when the DS-160 is not completed yet? Well, you got to schedule the interview, the date. You got to know what day is your visa interview. Then you can go in and do the DS-160. The DS-160 only takes about an hour to fill out, 45 minutes. It's easy to do. It's easy. But you got to remember, you got to do a DS-160 per person, per individual. Don't overthink this, okay? The NVC letter says we should wait to hear from the consulate. I'm confused. Let me unconfuse you, Edwina. If you have a ready status from the embassy in Frankfurt, Germany, right? It's Germany. Email the embassy and ask them, this is Edwina. Here's my case number. Here's my invoice number. What do I do? The embassy will give you directions. They'll tell you. They'll email you back. If they don't, start the process. Create a SEAC account. Go into the SEAC account. All these directions are on the welcome letter from the MVC. Everything is clearly spelled out on how to do this. Spend B 1231. Hey, how are you doing? Doing good. Let's see here. Love your helpful content. USCIS approved our case on July 1st. When do you think all this waiting will come to an end? I live in Turkey. Beautiful Turkey. I love Turkey. It's a beautiful country. And it's about a 12-month turnaround right now from NOA 1 to NOA 2. And Lausanne Alashi. How long do you think it is left for my fiance to be with me here in the United States? NOA 1, September 21. Your beneficiary is in Jordan. Beautiful Jordan. Okay. Well, probably this month. Well, it's September 21. I will say next month, Lausanne, you will get your NOA 2 letter. Okay. The end of next month, first week of October, right in there. Spain B1231. Hey, love your helpful content. And Turkey is a beautiful country. I would love to go there. IS, I have PTO available, but my employer keeps pushing my request for leave. I'm thinking of calling in sick. I need 1.5 weeks at least to travel to India. Call in sick. Use your sick leave. Do whatever you got to do. Your beneficiary comes before any job. Family first, right? God, family, right? Family. Bud Garcia, thank you for the information. It is very helpful. You are doing a great job, Diego. Well, thanks, Bud. I'm glad to help people through this process. It's not an easy process if you don't know how to do it. Paya, no, sir, she is not going with me. She lives with her mom. Okay. Well, you need to write a letter or have the mother write a letter and sign it, an affidavit saying that the child is not going to be leaving. Is it India? Need an affidavit explaining that. Give it to immigration and say, here is my affidavit from me, from the mother. The child is not leaving the home country. Denise Jefferson, Diego, what about including photos of your ring on your finger for like an RFE? Bad idea? No, it's a good idea. I thought it was a good thing for the proof of relationship. Yeah, it's a great idea. When I filed Karina's K1 visa back in April of 2022, I can't remember that far back, right? I took a picture of Karina wearing her engagement ring. We were at the Hotel Regina in Bogota. And the next morning, I gave her the ring and everything, and boom, she was happy as a clam. And I took a picture of it with my cell phone, and then I uploaded it to my computer. I blew it up, and I imprinted it, and I put the photo of the ring on her finger with a copy of the ring on its own, plus the receipt where I paid for the ring here down the street at the jewelry store, but I whited out the price of the ring. Immigration don't care how much it costs. They just want to see the ring. That's a good idea, Denise. I did it. Edwina, I did not receive a welcome letter, nor do I have an invoice number. Okay, you need to email the embassy in Frankfurt and check in with them and tell them where you are in the pipeline, what your status is. Identify yourself with your case number, okay, your date of birth, etc., for your beneficiary. Identify your beneficiary. The immigration will then be able to find your case, and they will send you directions on what to do. CBY05, a tourist card is only good for 180 days. They also have permanent residence, and by leaving Venezuela, not returning, would any of these options disqualify for the K1? No. The U.S. government is not going to disqualify a Venezuelan from a K1 visa because they got the heck out of communist Venezuela and relocated to another country. It's not a problem. But try to get residency for her in Mexico. Find out what the rules are for residency. She needs to get at least a Mexican cedula, right? Have her ask for asylum in Mexico. Get a cedula. Sandra Harris, we got a welcome letter with a case number but no invoice. We will receive a separate letter. Now, what that means is that the embassy is not ready for you yet, Sandra, okay? The embassy is not ready. The embassy have your case. They got your approved visa, but the embassy doesn't have it yet. When the embassy get it, they'll get you an invoice number. Then they're ready for you. Then you can start paying the visa fee, scheduling the interview. Lozan Elashi, and after the NOA 2, how long do I still need to wait for my fiance to come? It's hard to be consistently patient and waiting. This process isn't for the faint of heart. You got to be strong. You got to be tough, mentally strong to get through this process. Okay. And I do this YouTube channel for you guys Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 3 times a week, 12 times a month, where you guys can come and hang out and and I'll help you through the process. I'll help you get through it mentally, emotionally, whatever you need. But you can do it. But you got to be strong. Okay. You can't be thrown in the towel. You know, got to stick it out. Daggy, happy Monday, Diego. Any updates on the I-134? No, Daggy, keep using the same edition. And happy Monday to Daggy. Let's see. Spend 1231. Turkey is a beautiful place. Yes, it is. But being with a person you love is a different kind of beauty. You're right about that. So we got to get your beneficiary out of Turkey into the United States, right? Denise Jefferson, but Karina should not wear the ring to the interview. No, Karina is not going to wear her engagement ring to the interview. She's going to have no rings on her fingers. None. Immigration officer is going to look at her hands and there's going to be no rings. If she's got her engagement ring on her finger, immigration officer might say, hey, did you guys get married? This fly is back, guys. Ooh. I'm going to get him. But, okay. To my Hindu friends who probably don't believe in me trying to terminate this fly, I apologize. But he's annoying me. IS, we have been close to 5 years. Will this help our case? We are bona fide relationship. You're good. You're Latino America. He's Indian. Someone told us our culture differences may give us a hard time. No, immigration don't care about your. You know, you read on these blogs and these immigration attorney blogs. Oh, if you're from a different culture, immigration's gonna deny your visa. It's all baloney. Immigration couldn't care less what your culture is. What they care about is that you guys love each other and you're in a relationship and you want to be together, right? Right? That's what the K-1 visa is. Just imagine if you were living in America, okay, and you got a Muslim over here and you got a Christian over here, and they want to get married. They love each other. They're going to get married, right? Nobody's going to stop them. The same is true with the K-1 visa. Immigration don't care what your cultures are. They care that you love each other and you're in a relationship together and you're going to be together forever and ever. That's it. That's the bottom line. And I want to salute to that. That is the bottom line. Let's see. Like, take for example, Karina. She can't speak English, right? She can't. She might be able to say dog and cat, and she can say, water and juice. But immigration is going to ask her at the visa interview, how do you communicate with Diego? I speak Spanish. Karina is going to say, well, he speaks Spanish. We speak Spanish together. And then immigration is going to go, okay, you're good. That's it. Let's see. Pete B. Hey, Pete. Look right here. I'm down to 2, man. But thanks for that super chat. We're going to be good on Mountain Dew. Much appreciated. High five, Pete. Paya. IS, what are my thoughts? Wait a second here. Paya has a question. What are my thoughts on what? It won't page up. Ask me again, IS. Paya, sir, what? She is not in my contacts. She never do sign. Both looking money only. Paya. If the child is not coming to the United States, that's no problem. If you are supporting the child in her home country, you have to include that on the I-134. Immigration will look at 2 numbers on the I-134. How many dependents do you have? And how much money do you make? That's it. Right hi Diego, I've been checking on SEAC website in vain under non-immigrant. It finally shows ready when I chose the immigrant. Yeah, the K1 visa is an immigrant visa. Okay, technically it's a non-immigrant visa because it's treated as a temporary visa to enter the United States. But once you get to the United States, it becomes an immigrant visa because you're going to change the status to a green card holder, right? So that's the reason why you only have to meet the 100% minimum income requirements at the embassy interview for a K1 visa. You got to be at 100% to pass the test. But my recommendation is you be at 125% plus minimum income requirements. But yeah, the K1 visa is an immigrant visa, but technically it's a non-immigrant visa. It's in the realms of total confusion. And I wish somebody from immigration would classify it as an immigrant visa permanent. And I wish somebody would say, you got to be at 125% at the embassy interview, not 100%. And make it a straight immigrant visa to unconfuse everybody. Renault, both the embassy says to wait for instructions. How long do you think the embassy will take before sending me notice? Depends on how busy they are. If they're busy. It's like asking me, how busy is the checkout lady going to be at Walmart on Saturday on payday at 2:00 in the afternoon? It depends on the embassy and how busy they are and how many staffing they have. And is anybody on vacation? Did somebody get sick at the embassy? Did they go on 2-week vacation? If somebody at the embassy goes on 2 weeks vacation, that slows everything down. It's hard to say. History Blitz. Diego, my wife's passport will expire with the maiden name. We are married now. How does she renew her Lithuanian passport? So is your wife in Lithuania right now? Are you going through a spousal visa, IR1 or CR1? I'm going to assume it's a CR1. So you said wife's passport will expire with maiden name. We are married now. So she needs to renew her passport with her married name if she wants to. She doesn't have to. Immigration don't care. But if she's in Lithuania, she needs to contact the Lithuanian government and get a new passport. Because you can't travel without a passport. You got to have a passport, History Blitz. And the last name immigration doesn't care what it is. Sandra Harris, thank you. The information on this letter received is confusing. Well, I hope I unconfused you. Okay? Immigration, if you go to their website, it's like you got to have a PhD in administrative management. It's difficult to understand. So I put the channel together to make it simple and understandable for people, so you can get unconfused. IS, the fly wants the Mountain Dew. I'm going to get this fly, guys. I mean, it landed on the camera. I'm not going to smack the camera. Yes, I love him very much. True, an attorney said that about the culture. Thank you. You're welcome. You don't have to ask an attorney. You don't have to pay an attorney $100, okay, to answer a question for you when you can come on this channel and ask and get it for free, right? So the answers I'm giving to you match what your attorney said. And this fly, I don't know what it's doing here. Okay, Lausanne, Alashi, thank you for helping us. I am doing my residency in family medicine in Texas, and having my fiance with me will make everything easier. Yeah, absolutely it will. And at least I'll have someone to talk to when I get back home. Absolutely. And good luck with your residency. That's tough. Soon you will be a doctor. So you're a doctor finishing up your last leg of your training. Denise Jefferson, Susie, how do me and you connect? I would love to pick your brain. Getting an RFE is equivalent to hitting the lottery, in my view. Seems like it is never going to happen. And if you get an RFE, Denise, it just means that you forgot something in the visa package and that they're asking for information that you have to provide. You provide the information and boom, that's it. You get your visa approved. History Blitz, no, she's with me in the USA. So your wife is with you in the USA and her passport has expired. Her Lithuanian passport has expired. Well, She could go to the Lithuanian consulate in Washington, D.C., go online and do it. Send an email to the Lithuanian embassy in Washington and ask for advice. History Blitz. The approved petition is 10 days from the valid due date. What happens in that case? Will they automatically extend, or do we have to deal with calling the consulate to extend? I don't know that question. If you have an approved petition, your wife is with you in the United States. So what kind of visa are you going through? What are you trying to do? Adjust status to green card? What are you trying to do? History Blitz. When she changes her name to mine, is it her maiden now void for Lithuanian passport? I'm assuming I have to bring the marriage license for the new passport. Yeah. If your wife takes your last name, History Blitz, she'll become Mrs. History Blitz. Her passport will say Mrs. First Name History Blitz. Hey, Diego, NOA2 got approved. So you went July 28, 2022, July 26, 2023. High five, EPO 97. Susie Goldemes. Hey, Diego, got NOA2 approved. Susie Goldemes. Denise, do you have a WhatsApp? I use WhatsApp all the time, guys. Use WhatsApp. Denise, get and Susie, swap WhatsApp numbers together. IS, congratulations. History Blitz, thanks. No problem, History Blitz. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour and 41 minutes. You guys got an extra 10 minutes out of me today. And I will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And today, I saved somebody from a serious immigration problem, a huge immigration problem. I saved this backside from you wouldn't believe. That's why we have this channel, guys. And Paya, please make a video for K1 visa questions and answers, because you're doing a great job and we love you. Paya, you got it. Okay, guys, I'll see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Behave yourselves. Don't stress this process. Don't stress. You're going to get your visas. You're going to do it. See you Wednesday, guys.